Welcome to A Woman's Brew, where women talk about beer. Today, we're focused on rewinds and refills as we serve last call on 2025 and start our new year off fresh. I'm Joanne, and this is Tori.
Hello, hello.
And we're two beer-loving women on a mission to get more people drinking and talking about great beer. Come join us! Right, so we are like into 2026 already, but this is our end of 2025 wrap-up.
Yeah, it's kind of it's the wrap-up. We normally split it into wrap-up and then a separate episode for like reset and like goals and stuff like that. And obviously we normally do one every quarter, but last year was so busy that it got to the quarterly point and we weren't going to be able to record until so far into like the other quarter that we were like, well, let's just combine and do half years. And I think my proposal would be we move into just doing half years, because I just think there's so much more to talk about and report on when you hit a half year versus quarterly. So I think we should go New Year reset, half year. Maybe we'll do an end of year, I don't know. But I do think like not quarterlies, I don't think are the way to go anymore, because we've got so much stuff. Yeah. We've got so much stuff and no time, and that's the problem. But yeah, I think
motion passed. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we've set quite a high bar in 2025. I'm not sure how we're going to live up to it in 2026. We didn't even mean to.
We'll talk about it. We set a high bar, and then even in terms of goals, set a high bar of goals, and I'm like, that was a mistake. But yeah, I just like, I can't believe we're not even 2 weeks into 2026 and I already feel like it's been a life. Like I'm just like, oof, what a year, am I right, guys?
Well, let's negate all of that negativity.
We're saging it.
We're saging it.
We're gonna sage it
with some lovely beers. So what are you drinking?
So you got me a Sunken Knave.
I did.
Ale, and I never drank it, and you'll see my goals. I'm like, I actually want to drink some of these. So yeah, I'm drinking the mumping ale, which is it's a traditional recipe, I think.
Yeah.
Named after an old Sussex tradition, mumping ale is Sunken Knave's very first beer, inspired by the session strength old ales of Sussex. This beer has been matured in tank for 2 months to deliver a rich fruity ale reminiscent of Burton ales and winter warmers, which I felt like it was perfect for this weather.
Yeah.
It's rainy, it's snowy, it's all kinds of emotions, it's all kind of things, it's cold, I'm freezing all the time, I've got my heater on, that's the only reason I'm wearing short sleeve. So I feel like all the blue and the white is giving snow vibes, are giving cold, even though it's like little flowers on it. It's, to me, I'm like, it's cold, winter warmer, yes. But my favorite part is I'm drinking it. My sister, we got this shop. There's a shop in the US called, apparently, I don't know if it's a chain everywhere, if it's just local in Massachusetts or whatever, it's called Savers. And it's like a secondhand shop. And so my sister's been going there a lot. And she just came over my parents' house one day and she's like, I got you a glass. And I was like, what? And she goes, I just thought of you and I just thought you had to have it. So I thought, what better than on an inaugural episode for 2026 to have my glass, which is, it does say, you can't read the bottom. Don't worry, Beyonce.
Don't worry, Beyonce.
It says, don't worry, Beyonce. So I don't know what it's like. I don't know what being Beyonce is. It's a lifestyle. It's a mental state.
Yeah.
It's everything. And it's got a blue tint on it. That's why earlier, before we started recording, I was like, I need to take a picture, not in this glass. Not because I was ashamed of this glass. I love this glass. Yeah. And it's always going to be clean because I can't put it in a dishwasher, because this is quite literally someone's got their Cricut, they've cut out the letters and they've just popped them on. But I love it and I'm here for it. So I'm going to be Beyonce. My biggest goal of 2026 is just always be Beyonce. So I'm saging the first 9 days and from day 10 onwards, I'm going to be Beyonce. Nice. What about you? What are you drinking?
I tried to pick some beers that kind of are either from kind of key moments through the year or like have a relationship to what we're talking about today. So my first beer today is Sam Adams Oktoberfest. By drinking this, it does mean I've only got one left now. And if we don't meet up soon and you come get your box, I'm going to start drinking yours. So
I was going to say, I was like, wait, is that one left mine, or is that one left yours?
Of mine? Your 3 are still in the box, so I can't touch them. But I picked when I was in the US for work. I went into a supermarket, and when you're there, you got to go and have a little wander down the beer aisle and see what you can find. I literally went around the corner and was like, orange 6-pack of Oktoberfest, and went, yoink, that is mine. And there are quite a few. Like, it wasn't like there was only one. And I was like, that's mine. Walking around the shop with it cradled in my arms so that no one else could have it while I was doing the rest of my shopping. Got back to my room. I literally sent Tori a message that was like, guess why I'm your best friend today. And she's like,
no, you said, guess what? You said, I think you said, like, guess why I'm your best friend or something. And I went, well, like, what do you mean? Like, obviously. And then you were like, well, for today's reason. Yeah. And I was like, because I was like, well, yeah, obviously. And then you were like, well, today's reason. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, today's reason. Not a clue. And then it's just like photo.
That's like 3 for me. I drank one.
Like, perfect.
It was like a Saturday, and I wasn't having to do any work, and so I had dinner, and I had a Sam Adams, and I put something on the television. No, I think it was a Sunday, and I had dinner, Sam Adams, something on the television. I was just like, this is so wonderful. I had a great time.
Well, that's the thing. Is it tasting good? Because the reason I ask, is because obviously
it looks
looking
beautiful.
It's like, it is looking beautiful.
Gorgeous, like dark chestnutty amber. Yours is blue.
I think mine is a blue. It's very Beyonce.
It smells amazing.
The reason I'm asking is because when I was, so obviously, again, I don't think I actually said it, I think it was inferred, but for anyone that's listening that didn't know, went back to Boston for Christmas. And so I was buying, like, I was just trying to find, like, fridge fillers, for lack of a better phrase. Because I was buying, I'm not going to get, because we've saged, I'm Beyonce now. I'm not going to get angry about 4-packs. I'm not going to do that. So I was like, yes, I'm buying them.
I didn't get messages about it this time.
No.
You didn't send me annoyed messages.
No. But I don't think I have to anymore. I think it's implied
I just know.
Because I got a message from one of our friends. I'm not naming names on this one. I got a message from one of our friends. And they were like, can you pick me this? Like, are you going to be near Treehouse? Like, I mean, I can be. It's 15, 20 minutes away, so I can be. Like, I really want this beer. Could you get me if you can, could you get me a 4-pack? If you're not around, like, that's okay. And I said, okay, that's fine. And I said, did you want all 4? And then the response was, no, I just know that you hate the fact that I know that you won't, like, what did they say? It was like, I know that you just won't stop getting angry about 4-packs. And so you can have, I would like 2 of them and you can have the other 2 if you want them. But, like, you know, I just know that you get angry about the 4-packs, therefore I was asking for a 4-pack. And I was like, okay. So that's what just made me chuckle, you saying that. I was like, yeah, no, I think the message is clear how I feel about it. I mean, I even had a conversation with the guy at one of the liquor stores I went into, and I was just like, 4-packs all the time. No mixed packs. No mixed packs, right? And he was just like, I know. And then he was telling me about the trend of how he's like, we're seeing that breweries are moving more into, like, these big boy cans. Like, not quite like tall boy cans, but I don't know if we really get tall boys over here. But, like,
what are they, like 19 ounces or something?
I don't know, because my brain can't work in those measurements anymore. So he did tell me a measurement, and then when I looked at it, it's like what I would consider like a tall boy. Kind of. Like, it's a bigger, much taller can. Much thicker can. Like, if you've ever had an Arizona iced tea, like one of those type of big cans. And he was like, that seems to be the trend now of, like, if they're gonna release them, they're gonna do certain beers that are in, like, those ones, and there's, like, a push to getting some stuff out like that. So I think, like, more core range and stuff that people are just wanting, like, a handful of, like, not 6-packs, 12-packs, 4-packs. That's what they're doing. And I was like, Still be
That's
much better if you
interesting.
could get mixed packs, though.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then I just sort of was like, yeah, well, and then I just went on my way. So, I don't think I have to complain about it anymore. But it is that thing of like, when I was going through the shop, I was like, get some of these. And I guess now's a good time. No, I'm going to hold off on that. But basically, I ended up getting a Sam Adams pack of 12 or something, like a mixed pack of 12, just because I was like, in order to have something that I can just grab and think about and like not think about, I'll get that. And I don't feel like they were tasting as good as normal. Like old Fezziwigs wasn't tasting as good as normal. And maybe it was just like, I just think it didn't have as full of like some of them were better than others. And actually, I had the light lager, which is new, and that was pretty good. And that was in a bottle. So I don't know if it was like these 330ml cans versus the bottles versus, I don't know. Some of them were better than others. Some of them were more full of flavored than others. At least how I remember they used to taste compared to now. So, but then my brother-in-law kind of said the same when I said, oh, I've got this. And he said, oh, it's not tasting like it normally does. So I don't know if they've just done something different this year.
Yeah.
So that's what I was asking, because I was like, were you disappointed when you had it? Or is it still good?
Still tastes good. Still tastes as good as I remember it. Still very happy with it. Although it's been, a fair while since I last had one.
Yeah, but the fact is, if it's been a while since you've had one and you're still going to taste good, because I think if anything, it's harder to live up to the memory you had when you had a really good one, and you know you had a really good one, and you know that you like it. So I guess now is a good time to say that because we're talking about Sam Adams, we're talking about me being in a shop.
Tori found.
You can't see.
Tori found my ultimate bucket list beer for me.
May I unbox this?
You may. I haven't touched this. It's at Tori's house.
This is the second time ever I've taken it out. I've never even.
Do you want this? And I was like, yes, I do. I will send you money. It is, in case people who are not watching the video and don't know what this is, Sam Adams bring out these Utopias every 2 years. It's a 30% beer that comes in like a brass plated bottle.
It looks like a copper.
It looks like a mash tun.
Kettle.
It's fancy. It's fancy AF. It's got its own
You've got
box.
these like little doors, and then you open the doors, and Sammy's there going, "Hey, got him!"
Like there's moving parts on the bottle before you even get into it.
It's illegal in 15 states. It's illegal in 15
states. I need to come up with like.
Stressed me the fuck out carrying it home, stressed Rick out taking it home from the liquor store. It's incredibly expensive.
Yeah, it's very expensive, and I said, I don't care. I'm using.
I'm not that good of a friend. Joe bought it. I'm not that good of a friend. She paid for it. I just stressed myself out. Yeah, I stressed myself out muling it back. I just, in case anyone's like, wow, you make money. Like, no, I'm not that good of a friend where I'm like, here you go. I got you a Sam Adams Utopias. I love you, but
we're good friends.
I don't have that kind of money for me, let alone.
That's my adult money that paid for that.
It's your adult money, not mine.
No, so now we need to make we need to make an event out of drinking this beer now. So there'll definitely be an episode. I feel like there needs
bucket
to be
list beers, the most epic bucket list beers, where we probably drink like a thimble, a little thimble full.
I'm very excited.
I feel like that had to be one that I shared.
Yeah.
And then like holiday period, I will say like I've got this next to me as well, because I thought I'd just do a bit of show and tell now on some of the stuff.
Sure.
So I got this as part of my Secret Santa gift. For anyone that's watching, it's a wine glass to go, and it's it's like the glass part of the wine, like the actual wine glass.
Yeah.
What holds the liquid is on top of this. It kind of like folds over where the stem is, so the stem goes kind of inside the glass, and it sits. Take it out for you. It like twists kind of onto that, and then you literally just take it apart and twist the stem onto the top.
Is it plastic?
And I was thinking, yes, plastic.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, how good is this for like beer related things? Because the amount of times it's just kind of like suctions on there. There's not really that much room inside the glass. There's not really a lot of wasted space.
Just to take that
and
with
like,
you.
How many times have we gone places that were like, oh, we don't know if there's going to be glassware there. We don't know what it's going to be like.
There's going to be rubbish glassware.
Go to a hotel and you're just like, you just don't know what's going to be there. But then you don't want to pack an actual proper glass.
Chuck that in your bag.
Yeah, this is it's the perfect size, and I could put some other like snacks or added extras on the inside of it and close it. But if not, it's not like I'm wasting a lot of space. This would fit in like a bigger purse. It's so easy, so portable. So I was really quite excited about that.
Yeah,
and then I got myself a new book while I was in Boston. That was about beer, so that was fun. What about you? Christmas? Did you get any good? Besides the adult money that you spent on yourself, did you get any good like beer related gifts?
Happy Christmas
any beer
Did
things?
I get any beer related? I don't think I got any beer related gifts. Might be the first year.
You didn't get a pack of Blue Dogs.
Oh yeah, we did. We got one each.
Lucky you. What a great household. Envious.
And this one's 2 beers and a glass.
Oh, good. I was worried that you wouldn't have a glass.
Which I'm not going to use. So we're trying to work out how we're going to re-gift those.
Actually shocked you didn't whip it out on today's episode, if I'm being real honest with you.
Yeah, no, we did not.
Impressive.
Not do
He's
that.
restrained.
And I am just, I don't want to call out Gordon's brother for doing that.
No, it's a thoughtful gift. It's a thoughtful gift. That's a thoughtful gift.
No. My husband went, we don't really buy Brewdog anymore because the owner's a bit of a dick. So Joe doesn't drink them anymore. And he was like, "Oh, wait." And I was like, "It's fine." Like, and he was like, "Oh, well, because you drink the craft beer stuff." And I was like, "You're right. This is, you're right. Yeah, no." I was like, "It's a very thoughtful gift." I was like, "You didn't need to tell him that." And he was like, "Well, just so we don't get any next year."
That's so funny because
dude.
I feel like that's such a dude thinking because. Right. Again, as much as like we just joked about, like, oh, did you get any?
Because they're brothers, like he doesn't care, like.
But it's also a bit like I wouldn't tell somebody else off for drinking it.
No,
like, and I don't even. We talked about it before. Like I wouldn't even assert my opinion without somebody asking. Like, if somebody goes, I make it very clear, like. Oh yeah, like if someone wants to go to a Brewdog, I'm like, oh, I'll meet you after, like the next place you're going to, or like,
I don't really want to go there.
Can we meet somewhere else, or and I don't judge anybody else, and like that's fine. And it's only if somebody says, oh, why don't you? Yeah, why do you avoid it? I'm curious. I'll tell them, but I kind of tell them like not a watered down version, but I keep it very like basic. Like I don't dig into details unless I tell them, and then they're like, oh, tell me more about that. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. But I don't go out of my way to kind of like preach that to people. And if somebody came round and said like, oh, I've got these Brewdogs, like I'd be like, oh, nice, cool. Like, how are you finding them? Do you like them? Like I wouldn't even say anything, but Rick would be like, oh yeah, we don't really drink that.
What is wrong with these men?
Girl, you don't have to say it. I'm like, you don't have to say it. Like, you could just let it happen. Like, it's fine. Like, it's not. And he's just like, well.
I was like, I'm going to put them in the brownie tombola. It's fine. Like,
yeah, and that's it. It's like, and that's the perfect thing to regift because a lot of people like know what it is.
Right.
So it's like, less intimidating.
Someone at the summer fair will really like that when they pull that tombola ticket out.
So yeah, see, that was your beer related gift.
I think that was it. I got Gordon bought me audiobook credits.
Nice.
And some books.
We need to get you some like beer smut or something.
Do you know what I've been looking for? I've only found one.
Only one.
There's only one. And it's about a brewer, and then apparently it's not very much about a brewer, so
oh, so that's a niche market that no one's tapping into.
Yeah,
really
someone needs to write that.
Beer smut. Fantastic. Yeah, well, I mean, what else is there to catch up on? I feel like, is there anything else to catch up on? I feel like we haven't recorded in forever, but like we have, but it feels like it's been a lifetime.
Yeah. It's because we're in a whole new year now.
I know. And I feel awful as well because I will say, Amnesty, like at the end of last year, it was so busy between everything going on that I just feel really bad because I just like, when my birthday, people were at happy birthday on my Facebook. Normally I go back and I'll say like thanks to everyone individually.
Yeah.
Didn't say thanks to a single person, let alone even like to a group. Genuinely, I didn't even look at them. Like literally I did not look at them. Not because didn't want to look at them, but because I went into this hole. I was talking to a friend of ours as well about this. I just went into this like little like cocoon where I was like, I've got so many things happening, so many things on my mind, it's like a roller coaster every day. Like there was so much going on, so many places to be, so many things to think of, so many things to do, travel. Like I came back from Japan and then it was my birthday and then I was going to the US for Christmas and everything, that I think it got so busy that I was like, I don't even really want to read messages, because then if I read the message, I have to respond to it. And if I don't respond to it, then I've forgotten to respond to it and then I'm a jerk. So if I don't read the message, then maybe I'll still have the notification. I'll have to go back to it. And it happened with like Facebook, Instagram, like just everything. And I just never got a chance to go back to people. And then it got too late. And I was like, well, it's too late now. And it was the same thing with like when we got the award and so many people messaged to be like, congratulations. And I was just like, not that I didn't want to say thank you. I just literally didn't get a chance. I didn't even really the posts, you did the post for I didn't even do a post myself.
That's
to be
I'm
like
the communicator of the year.
Yeah, all right. Okay, well, my name's on that tankard.
Yeah, your
thank you
name's
very
on
much.
that one. You've got a tankard, so we've got
I've got a
each.
tankard. I've got a tankard. So, and it says winner right over there.
Nice.
But I think the thing was, I didn't even make time to like put a post up. Like you put the post up, and I was just like, reshare. That's good enough. And my brain just, because I think I was doing something right after it as well for work. Like I never got for my day job work, and I never got a chance to just be like, cool, take this in, engage with people on it, move on from it.
But that's fair.
And everything
I
just
think
went.
We've got to normalise, like, social media is not the be all and end all of the world or our lives. Like sometimes real life is happening and going on your phone or on your computer to, message or do something is not priority. And like taking social media breaks is great for your mental health.
Be more Beyonce in 2026 and give yourself breaks.
And so if you said happy birthday to Tori or you congratulated her for our win,
take this as
she didn't ignore you.
I didn't ignore you.
Thank you,
not intentionally. Thank you. It was appreciated. And I just, it got too late.
Yeah.
It's like, when you meet someone and then you don't ask their name, and because you're like supposed to know their name, and then it gets too far gone and then you're like, it's too far gone now. I can't really ask now, can I? Yeah, like, and then you're like, well, I can't ask now, so I just have to wait for somebody else to say it. It's like that. I'm like, it's too far beyond my birthday now. I can't.
Yeah. Shall we have a look at our year in beer? However we track that.
Yeah. Let's go.
I mean, I'm gonna full disclosure here. I was absolutely rubbish this year. We had our big spreadsheet of all the things. You set up your big spreadsheet. I had a copy of it, and we were like, "Yeah, we're gonna fill this in, and this is how we're gonna do our stats and everything this year." And I did not. I did it like I think I started the year off strong, and it was fine, and everything was going in there. But I just like I struggle using Google Sheets on my phone. Like I have to sit in front of my computer and do it, and so then I had to find time to do it. And then I'd go through like sporadic points where I'd just log everything. And I think I got to partway through August, and then I just hadn't done any more until December. And then I was like, oh, I probably need to log some beers. I've definitely forgotten beers that I've drunk this year.
Same.
And just don't even know. Didn't take a picture of them. Don't know what they are. Couldn't remember. I was like, oh yeah, I had a beer that day. I don't know what it was.
Or like I know from Untappd. I've done the same. Was like I know from Untappd, because I will for a lot of things when I'm out and about, because I want to like remember the place I was, especially if I'm like traveling. So I like check it in while I'm there. I just don't rate it. I just chuck it on there with the photo so it doesn't take up space on my phone.
Yeah, I was totally going to do that while I was in America and did not. I was not. Like last year, I felt like I was very disciplined, and like I made sure I logged my beer styles so that I could see how many I did in a year, and I made sure that I checked in to different places so I could see how many different places I'd been. I did not do that this year. I was very sporadic. In fact, to the point where I did not want to go back through and do it on my spreadsheet anymore. I just wanted the ease of like going onto Untappd and whacking it in. So I did.
That's the whole worst part, isn't it?
I know. I haven't been rating, but I did just go through and whack them all in. And then I paid a $5 for the month so that I could download all of my check-in data for all time.
Get it, girl.
For all time. And so I'm getting ahead of myself here, but one of my goals for 2026 is to take that data and make myself a digital beer journal with
I
all of
love
my
that.
data, and then I'll just do it over there.
I love that. That's fantastic. To be fair, full disclosure for me as well, like I was probably the same in the sense of I panic did the last few months. The problem is it's the same as you, like when I'm good, I'm good. And the whole thing
Yeah,
is I set this spreadsheet up and then it grew and grew as I was like, actually I really want to track that.
yeah,
And I really want to track that as well. And like actually Untappd doesn't have that functionality. I wish it did.
yeah,
And so like the spreadsheet grew, but the whole intention of how I wanted to do it was I wanted to make it really easy in the sense of I
yeah,
wanted it to be like the brewery is filled out, the location details are filled out, like all of this stuff is filled out so that I can then just do a drop down and a lot of stuff will populate from that.
yeah,
That's not what ended up
yeah,
happening because I never took the time to go back for
yeah,
myself and make like the breweries, like the list of the breweries, their locations, like all of that. I kept saying I'll do it eventually, I'll get to it eventually, but it was such low priority. And then when I was good,
because
I
it
was
takes a
good.
long time.
Yeah, and I started off really good,
Yeah,
and then it would be like I'd go away and I'd use Untappd to just put things in, knowing that I'd come back. But then you lose the details of like the ingredients and all that, which is what I've been doing on like when I was tracking ingredients. And when I say that, for anyone that isn't listening when we've shared the big fat spreadsheet of all things before, is it's like track what hops are used in there, track what malts are used in there, track what yeast is used in there. And especially because everyone kind of calls it, like everyone might call something slightly different, so you're like,
yeah,
I'm not educated enough to know if something that sounds similar is actually something different, or
yeah,
if it's the same thing but somebody's called it different, or there's a regional difference, or the country, it's a language translation issue or something. And so I've just doing anything that isn't, I've not been trying too hard to like dig in like I did the year before. So this year I'm just like, if it doesn't say what hops are used, it's just being marked as a unspecified, and like that's that, and I will only try so much. And I just found that like as I was trying to catch up, I got really lazy with certain things. So what we're again getting ahead of the self with our personal goals, I'll talk about it after, but I want to streamline.
yeah,
I want to either find an easy way other than the spreadsheet, or I really want to streamline the
yeah.
spreadsheet to make it easier. So
However, I did take that data because I have kept. I'm not keeping as many beer notes as I used to, but I have kept some, and so I did. I took that data. I took out my 2025 check-ins. I added in some of the data that I keep elsewhere, and then I have got AI to sort my stats out, so I can tell you some fun things about my beer stats.
You could probably tell more fun things than
And
I can tell you about mine.
and I did screenshot all of my Untappd wrapped stuff as well, so I can look at that.
I did as well, which I'm not sure it's not actually totally accurate because I didn't put everything in there.
Yeah, I don't think it's accurate.
But
interestingly, I drank 308 beers this year. Normally, I'm in the 700s, so I've drunk like half the amount of beers that I would normally. So I think that kind of feeds into a lot of it as well. Is that I've not been going as many places. I've not drunk as many different beers, and then I'm just not logged it. So it's all over the place.
I'm annoyed because I drank 499 beers.
Oh.
Of what I've got on this spreadsheet.
Just one off of 500. That's annoying.
Yeah, it's really, really winding me up about that. And I know my Untappd's not reflective of that because I didn't put everything in Untappd. But I like when I went through just before this episode and I was like, how many beers did I drink? 499. I was like, I'm actually livid because I know that there's beers that are missing. So I probably did crack 500. But I think I echo your sentiment as well, because like when I was in Japan, so normally when I travel, and we've talked about this before, like when I'm doing my research on where I'm traveling, I'm like, where's the good places to go get drinks? Where do I want to go get beers? But I feel like when I was in Japan this year, and when I was in Boston, because my mum had an injury, so we couldn't really go out and about as much. Like I didn't go to as many. Regardless of what other people in the US are doing, I don't drink and drive really. Like that's not that's not me. So I didn't really go out and about to like breweries as much as what I'd normally do when I go back to the US. But equally, when I went to Japan, like I didn't drink nearly as much as I did on the trip before, the year before that, because I feel like we went to so many, I made a conscious effort to go to so many more places, whereas this time we were in areas where I was like, oh, it's too much effort to get here, or we were on really tight schedules. So I really genuinely, that first week we were in Japan, just didn't drink as much as I would have in a normal first week of being there. So it's interesting that you said that as well for yourself, because like you can definitely tell it makes the difference, because my Untappd checklist totals, last year I did 165 different styles. This year I only did 131, and I was trying to beat my last year's, last year being 2023. I was trying to beat my year before. I literally did worse.
So I did 100 last year. I did. You were as well. You were doing really well. I did 190 last year, but that was when I was like specifically trying to find all of these different styles. This year it was just kind of like, let's see what comes out in the wash. I did 113, which is still quite good, I think. But as well, we are, as we've said previously, like we are the type of people that's like, that's weird, or I've not tried that before, or oh, I don't see that style very often. We will gravitate towards those, so it is a bit easier for us to try lots of different styles, I think.
I do wonder if there's some level as well with like all the, with just issues around, cost of living and everything else like that, that's just making it a difficult climate. If there's just maybe not a lot of variety of options of different, like the same amounts of styles that maybe we'd be normally coming across. Because I feel like when I was traveling, like different places I was going to as well, like you just weren't seeing a big variety of styles. Like even in the US, like back in the US, it's winter. I expect to see more, I don't know, just varying stuff. And there was just still so many, when I did go out and go places, there were still so many just IPAs and hazies. And I was literally like, I just want something that's not like, it's truly New England. I would like something that's just not New England. Please, something that's just not New England.
when I was in Oregon and Washington, there was quite a nice range of things. Like I was seeing cream ales, I was seeing Grzycki's, like I was seeing like some nice, like I had a few different amber ales. There was some nice different styles out there, and actually I had European brewers over, and they were saying to the American brewers, it's really nice to see like a range of styles and not just hazies. And they were like, we're hoping that the market in Europe will start to be like, oh, can we let's try some different things other than hazies, because we're still kind of in that hazy phase.
It's just, I feel like everywhere I go, whether it's like in Boston or here, it's always just like hazy, IPA, pale ale. Like,
I mean, you're from the side of hazies though.
I know, and to be fair, like if I were have able to get further afield, like if I were able to go up to Maine, like I normally can, like the breweries up there, like yes, you have hazies, but like you also have some breweries doing like a lot of really innovative, interesting, different types of beers as well. And that's not to say that there aren't breweries close to home to me that are doing that as well. But I was limited, so a lot of my time I was just going to the liquor store, to the package store, and like I'd go in and I'd be like, hazy stout. There wasn't a lot of like in between. But even, I feel like even just when I was traveling other places as well, there was just so much, there wasn't a lot of variety or anything weird or interesting. And I'm wondering if that is cost of living type changes of like, we can't afford to take risks as much. Therefore, it's a lot more of the stuff that's a safe bet that we know people are going to want. And maybe maybe it's just completely coincidence. But I was just wondering if that maybe even contributed to some of the lack of variety. But then, I mean, saying that, I do have I have a lot of variety. I have weird things weird quote unquote things ticked off. Part of it is probably just me not going out my way to find some of these things. Or
I do have some beers for you that I was like, oh, I'll get that for Tori, because it's a style that she might not find difficult to get hold of. So
here's to 2026 being my best Yonsei. It will be good.
I did also explore 174 breweries this year. Although looking at 2024, I did 333. So again, I'm
in like your physical locations.
As in the number of different breweries that I drank.
Oh,
and my average ABV was my average ABV, which I don't think Untappd does, but my average ABV was 6.02%.
Oh yeah,
That seems quite high.
That does, but then I feel like it does, but then I throw back to us drinking like Duchess, and we're like, this is a 6.8, and we're like, whoa!
I do also think I saw...
tastes like a 4.
Yeah, I think I saw at one point in one of the bits where it was breaking things down, it was like, your lowest ABV beer was 2.8%, well, no, it was 0.5%, and your highest ABV beer was 14.4%. And I was like, yeah, checks out.
Do be like that, yeah.
I'm fairly consistent with what my favourite top beer style is every year, though. Can you guess what my top beer style is every year? Like
is
the most I drink.
It's either a sour or a stout, probably. Sour or stout?
Yeah, sour fruited has been. I think sour fruited has been my top beer style for at least the last 5 years.
Like, I'm going through my Untappd screenshots now as well. So it's like my unique drink count 406, Styles tried and missed 133, but that's, like I said, I don't think I've captured that properly between the two of them, so fair enough. And I also got for top style and its rank sour fruited, which according to Untappd is the number 5 most popular.
Yeah,
so
yeah, mine has given me my top 10 beer styles.
I think I've got that as well.
Sour fruited was number 1. American IPA was number 2.
Right.
Tell everybody that you work in hops without telling everyone you work in hops.
Well, I was going to say, especially because you've always, like, for you, always you've been like, yeah, that's just not the one that I love the most. I don't gravitate to those the most. And now you're like, jokes.
My top 5 are really, really funny. So sour fruited, American IPA, Imperial or Double Stout, New England IPA, sour smoothie pastry, and then I've got pale ale, American pale ale, saison, sour Flanders red. Mate, I drank like 8 Flanders reds this year. That's good going.
That's good going.
Pale ale other, and then pale ale New England hazy. That's how I feel like that pretty much sums up a lot of what I drink.
I think you got
crazy stuff. With some crazy stuff like chucked in.
I think you got more insights than I did, because I was just looking for...
These are my AI ones.
Oh, that's why. Oh, because you put your thing... I was like, I don't have that one. I'm like frantically scrolling, like, how did you get that? That's interesting, to be fair. I'm just looking at what I've got, because I've got like all these badges. I'm trying to find... there was one that showed me a good breakdown. My first check-in moment, so interesting. So my first check-in of 2025 was also back in the US. It wasn't back in the US. It was a beer I got from the US and brought back home. And it was a Hefeweizen. And I checked it in on the 2nd of Jan. So it'll be interesting if it does this again.
Mine's usually something that I drank on New Year's and didn't check in until the next day.
I've got as well, like, mine as well. There's this thing called, I kind of like some of the bits that Untappd did this year on their wrap-ups. They had your flavour, because it was space theme, they have your flavour constellation.
I like that
so one. Across your 50 highest rated check-ins, these flavours showed up the most. Here's what to try next based on your taste. And I've got hoppy, sweet, smooth, light-bodied and strong. And it says drinks we think you might like next. Triptych Brewing, Fleeting Galaxy. No idea, I've never even heard of that. No. Salt Springs Brewery, Barrel Raged Tiger, not heard of them. But that's like, these are not even 4%. They're 3.7 stars. So I'm like, question mark.
Yeah.
And then Street Side Brewery, Believing Intensifies, which is a 3.8. Again, I don't know if I agree with all this, but what I think is cool is it's like, these are your, not that I'm giving kudos to Untappd, but I like that they're like, these are your 5 top flavours, and they're like, and here's what you might like based on those top 5 flavours. I kind of like that it's graphing them.
Interestingly, mine were almost exactly the same as yours.
Really?
I got hoppy, smooth, sweet, light-bodied and fruity. And I got the Barrel Rage Tiger suggested to me as well. And I got Black Forest Birthday Cake from Player Linda Brewing Company, never heard of them, and Resolute Belgian Golden Strong Ale from Resolute Brewing Company. Now, when I wasn't looking too close at it and I was just trying to screenshot it, I was like, I have not had Black Forest birthday cake. What? That's not one of. What are you talking about? Oh, I hadn't read it. That's a suggestion. Okay, good.
You're
I was like, I haven't drunk that.
Did you get your top fives? Your top 5 drinks of the year.
So I
don't agree, because mine are some of them like old ratings that I've rejected. Yes,
because it's old ratings because we didn't rate anything. So I have what Untappd said, and then I have what AI said from my spreadsheet with my ratings on.
Oh, let me do mine, because then you can do yours and you can do both yours. So mine are literally, I've got Wiper and True's milkshake, which I'd agree. That's my number 1, which I'd agree with that. I'm like, that's fine. That's fair enough.
Oh, I had that on cask. At Christmas in
I never pass it up
in Tunbridge Wells, and I was just like, oh, this is a delight.
I think the reason I agree with it is because there's never been a time that I've seen it and I've gone like, I'm not, like, any time I see it, I'm like, oh, I want it, and it always is satisfying and it always lives up to that. I gave it 5 stars. I feel like it always lives up to that 5 star, and it doesn't matter if it's cask, keg, can, like, no matter what, it's always just lived up to just the beauty of the milkshake. So that was my number 1. Number 2, it says Brave Noise, but I can't work out whose it is because it's just the logo of Brave Noise, so I'm like, I'll take that, that's fine. My number 3 is Peasant Bread, which came from a US brewery, and I can't remember who it is now because it's a screenshot, I can't click into it. My number 4 was Harpoon Winter Warmer, and the reason I think that is because anytime I'm at home at Christmas, like, I'll buy the Harpoon Winter Warmer. It's just an easy drinking beer. And this year I had to buy a 12-pack because they were sold out of the 6-packs. And the guy at the store was like, literally, they're already brewing their spring beer. This is the last of what we have.
Oh, wow.
And the pallet came and all we had was 12 packs. We've sold out of 6s. So I was like, oh, is he going to get the 12-pack?
I'm surprised I didn't get a message about 12 packs.
No, because normally normally it's 6 packs if nothing else, and I didn't even have 6 packs, so I had to get a 12-pack. And it wasn't mixed either, which is wild. But because of that, and I had a historic rating of 5, I've checked it in so many times that it's like, cool, it's one of your top beers. I was like, but to me it's like, that's what I'd consider a fridge filler, so I'm like, great. And then my number 5 is Alchemist's focal banger. It's like mixing heady topper and focal banger. It's a focal banger, and I'm like, that's just I mean, don't get me wrong, it's an absolute banger, but I was thinking, like, when did I even have that? And it was like the beginning of last year. Like, it's not even what I've had recently. So I'm like, I've had Alchemist ones more recently than that, and I'm like, okay, go off, Queen. What about you? Which ones did your Untappd say versus?
Well, interesting. Again, I think it's because these are old ratings, because I didn't rate anything this year, but it is very I'm just like, all of these beers are great, like, sure. So my number 1 was Sam Adams Boston Lager, because I've had it about 3 times this year, which is actually solid. A significant amount, which is quite cool. Number 2 was One Day, the stout from Mirakai and Echo, because I got the ones out of the back of my fridge to drink for one of our episodes. Dutch's Chocolate Cherry is number 3.
That was a banger.
Then Vetra Black, their nitro black coffee from Vetra in Italy. God, that beer is so good. I was really excited to see them at London Craft Beer Festival. I literally made it because I'd been to the Industry Day before and seen them, and I was just like, "You got beers here today?" I was like, "Did I see your bar going through there being set up?" And he's like, "Yeah, I've got beers here this week." And I was like, coming over, and I was like, and he's like, "Yes, I've got Vetra Black." And I was like, "I will be over." And I literally was just like, walked in the building and was like, "Right, we are going here first." And we walk around, I was like, "There they are. Yes, I'm having one of those. Thank you very much." Because it's just the best. And you never see it outside of Italy. So it was great. And then number 5 was Creek Boone 2020, because I had a bottle of that in the back of the fridge.
That's interesting that's made it to the top of the list.
It's a very interesting list. But my top 5, according to my AI stats, again, well, I thought this was really interesting. It's actually quite a really interesting mix. So number one was Blue Moon. I think I had it once when I was in Brighton for work.
That's
because
random.
We were in like a regular pub, and I was like, "Oh, they've got a Blue Moon. I'll have a Blue Moon." But that's come out as my
Orange slice or
top
no
beer.
orange slice?
No orange slice.
That face was so angry.
I'm never an orange.
No.
I mean, I know they put one on there, but no. And I like, you can put it on my glass, but don't put it in my beer. Like, I just want the beer as it is. Thank you.
See, I think controversial. I'm pro orange slice.
Oh,
but that's because I've just grown up being trashy. So
yeah.
I'm like, PBRs and Blue Moons with orange slices all day. I'm kidding. For anyone that's listening, that's not trashy. That's not. I'm not calling you trashy.
Just get yourself in trouble today. Number 2, Pilgrim from Abbeydale.
That's solid. That's a solid choice.
Love it. In fact, we took one of the brewers to Yakima with us, and I was just like, I love pumpkin beer. You will see me buying all the pumpkin beers, but Pilgrim, love it. And he's like, like not many people make one. And I was like, please don't ever stop, because Pilgrim is great. We love it.
Every year, it's a consistent buy.
And then number 3, Duchess Chocolate Cherry. I would argue that actually it should be Duchess, to be fair, but
that's it. It's like, but I feel like Blue Moon is a bold choice,
so
and even Pilgrim. Like, I love Pilgrim, but I'm thinking like, out of all the things that you normally, that I know that you normally drink, and the things that you go back to, how has that been the list?
It continues. Number 4, Southwell Bitter from Adnams. I feel like I might have had one of those this year, because I did have a chunk of beers in my fridge that I'd bought because either I wanted them for the style, or I was doing my own try all the beers, bucket list beers type thing, and I'd had a few in my fridge that I hadn't got around to, so I had a bit of a clear out, and I think Southwell Bitter was on that in that pile, and that's ended up on this list. This list is very strange. The one that I think is actually true is Pear Necessities from Indie Rabble, which was a pear crumble.
Was that the one
fruited sour?
Was that the one that had the tarot card on it, or is that a different?
This was.
I think that might have been a different pear one, potentially.
But I had that on my birthday. No, when I met up with our friends around my birthday, and we were in Folkestone, and they had it in the Folkestone beer shop. Nice. And it was very delicious. But yeah, that's a sour fruited, which is my top style, like every year. And also
year after year.
Indie Rabble, great. So
I was going to say, because I feel like it might have been another pear one that I was thinking of. They had one that was like a tarot card one, so I was like,
yeah, I didn't get that one. I was like, double whammy. One. I know. I think I had a tarot card one. I was really sad.
I might have. I'm not sure. I might have it somewhere potentially,
yeah,
and I bought it for the label.
And I do. Do you know what? I'm always really excited because I do see a lot of Indie Rabble down here. I think it's because Charlotte comes to Folkestone quite a lot.
I love the fact that without a doubt, no matter where I am in the world, I swear to you, like I'll be like somewhere else. I was in Japan and I was like, all I want is a nice Japanese beer from a Japanese brewer I've never heard. Like, let me try a beer. What do I walk into? It's the fucking Emperor's. Like, burnt meal. I was like, great. And then they didn't even have the right location. They didn't even have the right location listed. Like, I was like, Emperor's is not Sweden. It's not Sweden. Like, I was like, what are we doing here? I always manage to be, when I go to, even like within the UK, I'll be like, I'm traveling to this place, like gonna go into this bar, this craft beer bar, like this is great, try some new beers from people that I don't normally get a chance to try from, and it will be like the tap takeover of somebody that's like, it'd be like elusive tap takeover, and I'm like, for fuck's sake, I'm like, not that I don't love Andy, but I'm like, my dude, I've driven 3 hours away, not 15 minutes. I want something that's like 3 hours away beer. Like, I don't know. Not a down the road.
So when we were in Portland, we went to this quite well-known bottle shop called Belmont Station, and we were getting some stuff, and like that's where I got a chunk of our pumpkin beers this year. And I was having a little browse, and I was like, guys, look, Holy Goat.
That's
And they were
wild
like,
that
"Oh,
it's
which
managed
ones
to
have they
get
got?"
that
I
far.
was like, as much as I love Johnny, like I'm not buying a holy goat to go in my suitcase to come all the way back. Like, no.
Well, I think unless it was something that I was like, I never got my hands on this and I
Yeah.
really, really wanted it, I'd really struggle, I think, to buy a local beer abroad.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing, is I genuinely think that would be my struggle. I just don't think I could do it.
Yeah.
Unless it was like, I really love the artwork with this thing and I
Yeah.
can't get it anymore, so I must have it. But I don't know. But that's hilarious. And I feel like without a doubt, anytime I go anywhere, it's like tap takeover for your local brewery, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck's sake.
Bloody
This is not what I wanted. You can see my glass now. You can see my
Oh yes. Don't worry, Beyonce. I love it.
Beyonce. So how I'm feeling, very Beyonce. Do you have any more stats on yours?
So apparently I drank beer from more countries than I visited.
Mm.
But most of my beers were enjoyed at home. I mean, that might just be the ones that I remember.
That's fair.
Because the thing is, when I'm out, I'm with people, so I end up talking, and then I forget to make a note of what I'm drinking. And my biggest logging catch-up time was late summer to winter, which means I think I logged like 86 beers in like 3 days in December, because I was like, I haven't logged anything since August. I better sort that out.
I love that. I was just looking at, I was like, this is the problem, is I meant to visualize all this data and then didn't, so it makes it really hard to analyze.
We were going to do that.
I did actually set up the Power BI, but like, because everything wasn't set up optimally, I couldn't actually visualize the data. So that's going to, maybe I'll do that for 2026. I don't know. New year, new me, new Beyonce. But I think I was like, I can't do it as easily as you've rattled off stuff. So I'm like, what can I say about my stats? Because I don't
what were your top venues?
I can tell you. Well, I can tell you. I don't know. Does Untappd tell you top venues?
Yeah, Untappd told me what my top venues were.
Okay, yeah, top venues. I was gonna just JFDI something from my spreadsheet. So it says visiting your top venues. I checked in 53 venues in total on Untappd. Well, the problem is I did it on Untappd, but a lot of them, I know that there was more, but when you get too far away, you can't check them.
Yeah.
But my top 5 were, number 1 was The Hive, 20 visits.
Checks out.
Number 2 was, that's just easiest. Number 2 was Siren, which was 12 visits. Weirdly, Elusive's not on here, but I think it's probably because a lot of the times when I was checking stuff in, I probably checked it in like after the fact, or and then I could still technically reach it, but I don't. If it wasn't up there as my one of my last ones, like you can't really find it properly.
Yeah.
Number 3, I'm not going to try to pronounce this because I will butcher it, but I can tell you it was in Prague. it was a craft beer spot in Old Town, and it's starts with a U. Perfect. That's all I can say. It's U space something I don't want to try to pronounce because I don't want to butcher that. That was 12 visits. It says 12 visits, but it's 12 check-ins. And then number 4 was Black Tide Brewing in Sendai, which is Japan, where I got 9 check-ins. And then number 5 was Disruption, which is now called Chaos, and that had 7 check-ins. So I feel like for the most part it checks out. I was kind of surprised about the Prague one, but then not, because I think we were doing I can't remember fully, but I think Rick and I were doing flights. And yeah, I actually do remember where this place was, and it was amazing. All right, I'm going to try to pronounce it in case anyone else was there. Anyone else wants to go. It's called U, like literally the letter U space Kunstatu KUNS with a squiggle thing above it, TA with the apostrophe thing above it, TU with a little degree sign above it. That's the best I can describe for you. And then it says craft beer in Old Town. So just try doing that. UKUNSTATU, craft beer in Old Town, and you should be able to find it even without the squiggles and the degrees and whatever else. And it was really good because they had so many different beers. And I think we got a flight that was a flight of 12. And Rick and I just worked our way and shared through the flight of 12. And
Yeah.
I've got this thing that I got him like 2 years ago, I think it was, for Christmas, actually, for a stocking stuffer. I got these like little conversation cards just because I thought it'd be really interesting of when we go out and about. We talk to each other all the time, but like I thought sometimes these conversation cards would be like really good just as we're out and about. We don't really feel like playing a card game because that requires too much attention and table space.
Yeah.
The conversation card just asks you like ridiculous questions. So I got those ones and we just sat there drinking a 12 flight. It was an outrageously, and I think it was either that we got 2 6s, and she was saying, the lady that was serving us was like, what do you want? And they have some that are very specific of it's a dark beer flight, it's a light beer flight, and then one's like, you know, wild, like you could choose your own, or one's like wild stuff. And I went, go with the wild one, dealer's choice, whatever you want. And she was like, is there anything you don't like? And I was like, no, the wilder the better, go for it. So she just came back with all the like the most wild ones they had, because they had so many tap lines. So really recommend that place. So I'm not actually surprised that's on my top, only because we had so much, because we had such a good time there. What are your top venues then?
So I checked into 20 venues because I just kept forgetting to do it. And again, you get like so far away that you can't do it. But most of this is from work. So 23 check-ins to London Craft Beer Festival. I think that's the most I've checked into London Craft Beer Festival in a really long time.
I normally take the photos and check them in later. And then at that point you can't check it in anymore properly.
I think I did it on the train on the way home.
Smart.
Snayton Market, so that's Nottingham Craft Beer Festival. Highly recommend that festival if nobody's been to it. It is brilliant. 17 check-ins there. 3 check-ins at Canal House, which is also in Nottingham, but they are from Beer Debunked in March. 3 check-ins at the Beer Shop Folkestone, and then 2 check-ins at Brewing Brothers. So that's a brewery. They have a tap room on the Folkestone Harbour Arm. So that was the same day that we went to the beer shop. We did a little wander around some places and had a lovely time near my birthday. So that's a few beer festivals, a beer event, and going out for my birthday. So that's quite nice.
Nice. I'm trying to like see what other facts I can give you for mine, but the most I can tell you is like when I look at the ingredients list. Any guesses on what you think like the most the most common hop is?
Citra.
Yeah. Like literally. So I've got all the variants as well. So like, the way I've listed it out on mine is you have like the hop and it's unspecified. So like when it just lists the hop and it doesn't say if it's like a pellet, a cone, like whatever, I just put as unspecified. That alone, before you even factor in when it specifies T90 or like Liquavax or Cryo or anything like that, just on its own, unspecified, I've got 45 different beers that have Citra in it. And I think like the next highest one on its own is literally only like 20. There's a few that are in like 25 range. So like this is more than double any of them. I've got 48 beers that were single hop check-ins. Again, obviously take this with a pinch of salt, because some of these there might be more, but it's just like only when specified. Okay. So I can only go with what I know. So 48 single hop check-ins, which was surprising actually, because I feel like I'm used to lots of blends. So that was surprising. 106 multi-hopped beers. 5 fresh/wet hopped beers. Ooh. Interestingly, more than half of those came from Japan. Oh. Which was interesting, because I feel like I saw and tried way more fresh and wet hopped beers over in Japan than anywhere else that I've been to so far, or at all in the last year. So that was interesting, because I'd never seen that on previous trips. So, and I've always gone relatively same time of year. So I don't know if this is just a bigger push to be more like, I don't know, localized, focused. I don't know, but it was interesting. 1 beer that used hop blends of some sort. 12 beers that specifically called out using hop products. With that being the highlight. I know there's probably a lot more, but those were the like specific ones. 1 that is listed as experimental hop, but I can't tell you because I didn't make notes on that. 18 that used no hops, that specifically said there's no hops in this beer. And 26 new hops to me. So I thought those were interesting.
Oh, what are the 26 new hops?
So the first 2 I didn't track. And then from that point, I went, I should track this because this would be interesting to talk about.
Well done.
What I did is I made a comment. I did like a comment on the thing. And my first comment is unsure of the first 2. But number 3 was Eclipse, which some of these I think I've potentially had before. It was just never on the track, or I never noticed, or I never paid attention. Because it feels a bit weird that I never had Eclipse before last year. So, and that was in March 2025. So that's why I'm like, I'm not sure if that's accurate. Number 4 was I've logged these in March, but I had them before. So number 4 was Azalea in February. Number 5, the first time I had Peacherine. Yeah. Even though I wrote a note that says I think I've definitely had it before, but it was not logged. So Peacherine, I'll count that. Number 6, Mimosa. Like, I've learned so many hop varieties that I was like, what? Like, didn't know that was a hop variety, but sure. Number 7, it's a Czech one. I don't feel comfortable even trying to say this. There's a lot of marks on the. I'm like, this ain't. If I start saying it, you might know it. Zateco, Pulcej.
I do not know.
I can't even pretend to pronounce. I'm like, not going to do that. Number 8, Agnes. Number 9, Harlequin. Even though I'm 99% sure I've had Harlequin before, it just wasn't logged on the tracker. Number 10, I had. This is the point where I start actually saying where I had them, so that's helpful for me as well. So number 10, I had Topaz. So that was interesting. Number 11 and 12 were from a Buxton beer. I had Liberty Hops and Mount Hood for the first time. Number 13 was Pacific Jade. Number 14, Strissel Spalt. If I've said that correctly.
You have.
A little bit.
You have, mate. 15, said that right.
15 and 16 was Cardinal and Ernest.
Oh, so you've definitely had Ernest before.
I probably have. So this is it. I probably have. So the reason why I'm like putting them on here is, like I said, I think a lot of these I had before, but if they weren't on this spreadsheet list of hops before, I was just like, well, I don't know. For all I know, unless it's something I'm very confident about, like Peacherine, I feel like I was very confident about, but I still put it on there. I just counted it as new. Number 17, I had Phoenix. Number 18. Again, I put 18 Hallertau Tradition, but like the reason I did that was because I was like, oh, the way it was written as Hallertau Tradition, I was like, oh, that's written differently than some of the other. And I know that some hop names are like, they're like, sometimes it'll be written different ways, but it's the same hop. And then other times it sounds like it's the same thing and it's not. So I put it because I was like, I don't know if I've had it or not. Number 19, Super Sauvin. I was like, not even Nelson, this is super. I don't know, that really made me chuckle. I think I put, which appears to be normal Nelson, but thiol enriched. So it's like thiol enriched, great. I made notes for me for that. I was like, great. Number 20, Pacifica. 21, Hop Flow. 22, Lotus. 23, Shinshiwase. Which is specifically a Japanese hop. So that was interesting. Number 24, Lemon Drop. Number 25, Maui Nelson, which I'd never heard about before. And number 26, Blanc. So, 26 different hops. There we go. I'm going to do that again, where I'm going to comment every time I've got a new hop, because it's really interesting going back through and I'm like, the fuck is that? That's interesting. In terms of adjuncts, I've got a lot of adjuncts, but I didn't capture the data in a way that was particularly interesting. But I will say, probably, I'm trying to think if I've got one that's like particularly interesting over any others. There was a sweet potato one I had, so that was sweet interesting. Potato beer? Yeah, it was made with sweet potatoes, Kintoki sweet potatoes. So it was a Japanese beer that was used with. It was in a region where it was at a time of year where sweet potatoes are obviously very like popular, and in a region where they had lots of sweet potatoes. So that was really interesting. It was an area where they had like sweet potato chips or crisps, whatever you want to call them, and lots of stuff utilizing sweet potatoes. So I got a sweet potato beer because I thought it was interesting.
Nice.
And then another one of the beers had something called a Timur pepper or a Timut pepper or a Nepalese pepper, but it's not a pepper, it's a berry. It's a fruit.
Oh.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are probably the two more interesting.
Yeah.
I've got lots of interesting ones, but I haven't actually like noted them down. But those were just the two more recent ones I logged. So there we go.
Cool.
My stats.
I drank a lager from Nepal.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's random.
Yeah, it was proper random. It was on our collab bar at Drink Tech in Germany, and we had it, and so everyone was like, "Oh, a lager from Nepal."
I feel like I would try that just because you don't see a lot of things that you don't see a lot of beers from Nepal, so I think I'd try it.
We knew what hop was in it, but we weren't allowed to tell anybody.
What hop was in it?
Because the brewery didn't want anyone to know what the recipe was.
Oh, you got to tell me after. I want to know. I'm shook. Should we have the next beer and then we can talk about goals?
Yes. And I've also got podcast stats for you.
Yeah.
Because what a year we've had in 2025.
All right, before we get into we'll do our stats, like our podcast stats, then we can go into our goals and finish off with our goal chat. What are you drinking now?
So I am drinking Harlequin from Tartarus, which is a caramel macchiato porter. I believe I picked this up to drink on my birthday and then didn't do it.
Didn't do it.
I had other beers that day, and like I bought it, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to drink that on my birthday, and then I didn't do it. And I drank something else instead. Like I think Gordon and I went out, so I didn't end up drinking it, which has been like a theme of 2025. It's like, oh, I'm going to drink that beer for this thing,
and then not do it,
and then I just don't, and I'm like, oh, I was going to have a beer. Like, do you remember when we did our Christmas episode and we were saying, what special beer are we going to drink for Christmas? And I was like, I've got a 10-year-old pumpkin lambic. I'm going to drink that at Christmas.
Yeah.
Do you think I've drunk it?
No.
No, it's still in the fridge.
I drank for my birthday, not on my birthday, but the day after my birthday, because I had people around for my birthday. And then the day after my birthday, we did a Thanksgiving thing on my birthday because at the weekend that happened to be when my birthday was, and then Sunday I had charcuterie, and I was like, I'm talking to no one except Rick, and I had Victoria, which I paid a lot of money for this.
Well, it's a Tommy Chef, so you would,
well, not if you're in the Netherlands. I paid double what you pay in the Netherlands.
Girl.
And I know that because my colleague, who I love, he was looking at them for me initially, and so I know how much they cost to actually get them over there. And I was like, I don't care, it has my name on it and I want it. So I got it, and it was
great. Adult money.
It was adult money, but I was
what you want.
We have a company party coming up. Yeah. And like my colleague coming from the Netherlands, we now have someone that's just come into the company as well, and he's in Belgium, and I was like, we need to make friends with him so that he can bring his Belgian beer.
Can mule us some lovely beers.
I was like, I know that when you go to some of those breweries, you pay, thank you Brexit, you pay a lot of money for those beers now. And when you go to Cantillon, and you look at the price of a beer there compared to what I pay over here, I'm like, mule them. Bring them in. But yeah, my colleague in the Netherlands, I'm like, if you want to get me, he was showing me, they still have some available. And I was like, so I expect a whole suitcase full. He was like, yes. Oh, that's what I just thought. Brilliant. When you were talking about birthdays, I had it literally sat right there. I was like, I want to show you the one I had. Fantastic. I am drinking Westy Blonde. It's a blonde.
Nice.
It's pretty simple. But the reason that I was just saying to you as we were pouring our beers, not on camera, that I feel like people are going to get real mad.
What have you got it in? What are you drinking? Oh my God, I love that glass.
It's on my ghost glass.
Please describe this glass. Describe this glass,
So it's
please.
a champagne. It's like an old school champagne type glass, but
It's like a coupe.
bigger. Like I think it's bigger than your normal old school champagne glass, so it fits more in there. But there's a ghost on the
stem,
handle, on the stem. On the stem,
there is a glass ghost in the middle of the stem, and it's doing a little dance. It's
got a derpy face.
It's not got a derpy face. It's happy.
It is, because I'm happy about it. I saw it at TK Maxx at Summerween, and I was like, you are mine. But it's
that looks like a TK Maxx special. I love it.
Yeah, the type of colouring on it as well. It's like holographics, not the right
it's like
word,
the rainbow.
You know what I mean? Where it's like when you have like when you wash your car off and the soap's on the drive, and then the light hits it in the right way, and it's got that like bubble shine to it.
Yeah,
it's like that type of colour. You can't really tell from the video. But I'm now drinking this Westy Blonde out of this glass. And the reason I'm doing it is because I haven't drank anything out of this glass yet, and I want to.
You christened it.
And so I was like, well, now's a good time.
Christened it appropriately.
I'm saying it's 2026. I'm very Beyonce. I'm having it, and I'm pleased. So I just wanted to show off this glass to you, because I don't think I've ever properly shown it to you before.
I love it. I absolutely love it, and it's so you. So I have some stats about the
Sorry. Sorry, carry on. I was really
totally ruined my intro.
I'm so sorry. It tasted so good. Okay, do it again.
I'm going to keep that in. I had some stats about the podcast, if you'd like to hear them.
I would. They're so good. I would.
So again,
tell me.
I put this in AI, and I was like, can you tell me some information about our stats? I could only get our Podbean and our Spotify stats. I couldn't get Apple to give me what I wanted, but that's given us some quite good stats here. It told me that these are strong stats, especially for an independent niche podcast. I was like, thank you very much.
We are independent and niche.
We are indeed. I was like, that's us. So our total downloads for the entire year from those that have been recorded by those two platforms, 3,400. Total listeners, 2,500 over the year. 2,500 people have listened to us.
That's wild.
That's madness.
2,500 different people.
I think so, yeah.
Different...
And then, so listener trends, we've had a strong, steady baseline early in the year, but then there were clear spikes in June, July, and October. There was a dip in August, but that's normal because it's summer and people aren't listening. But we had a strong recovery in Q4. Do you want to hear our top episodes according to this AI?
According to AI. I mean, I'm going to be skeptical about the AI facts, but yeah, hit me with it.
I have some slight... what I've recorded, because I've been recording our stats throughout the year in my analog way on my paper journal.
We'll
compare the two things. So, by downloads, AI reckons that these are our top 5 episodes. Filthy Queens, with 105 downloads.
That's fair.
Bucket List Beers, West Veltron 12, 91 downloads.
So I picked a good beer for this.
Yeah. A Conversation with Ideal Day, 88 downloads. Our International Women's Collaboration Brew Day with Kate from Handbrew Co. got 84. And Malden's and Lesser Known Women in Beer got 80. Now, just to swap over to my other log that shows me that I've been keeping through the year. So I look at how many downloads or listens we get within like the first week or so for each of our episodes, and according to that, our top 10 episodes were International Women's Collaboration Brew Day and Kate with Hand. That was number 1. Then our chat with Lucy and Lizzie from Closet was number 2.
Oh, that did have big response, I think.
Yeah,
people liked that,
and I think that has crept into this one because actually there were a lot of listens on Apple. Hi, Apple listeners. Which obviously wasn't reflected in the AI ones because I couldn't get the data to download. Then number 3 was Meat Raffle with Tom. Hi, Tom.
The amount of times I've spoken to people and they really genuinely I've had to tell people like, no, that was my honest reaction to a lot of
it literally was.
It's like that is my honest reaction. That was none of that was set up.
No.
I didn't know what I was getting into. Like 100%. It was a very fun episode. I'll tell you that. And I love that it's called Meat Raffle.
Yeah. I think the entire title for that is "It started with the meat raffle."
It did start with a meat raffle. I've still not gone to one. And Rick actually thought I made
Goals
it up.
for 2026.
He thought I
Tori
made
to a
it
meat
up.
raffle.
Genuinely, Rick was like, "No, that's not a thing." I was like, "No, it is a thing. You're
is.
British. What do you mean?" He thought you guys were taking the piss out of me.
They're real.
It was so real, honestly. Sorry. Every time I think about just 90% of the conversations with Tom, it brings me nothing but joy. I didn't get a Christmas present this year. I didn't get a Christmas message. Very upset.
I got one straight out, like, just the other day, where he was just like, tell me this information that I need. And I was like, oh yeah, Happy New Year, by the way. I was like, oh, this is how we're starting 2026.
I needed another special message sent, like a really great message sent. Yeah. I just didn't get one, so, you know.
No, you didn't get one from Prosciutto this year. Very
no, I didn't. I'm upset about it, actually.
Anyway, that was number 3. Number 4, Westfelter and 12. Then we've got a joint with experiments in yeast and our Christmas episode. Then our conversation with Sophie from Buxton. Then the dry pur variants, and then, unfortunately, our quarter 1 and our quarter 2 reviews are joint 10th place.
That's fair.
It's fine. It's fine.
That's why we don't do quarters anymore.
No, we don't. Sorry, we've phased that out. So this is your favourite part, I always feel. Do you want to hear our top listener countries?
Yeah. And if it's not Taiwan, I'm going to be angry. I'm going to throw a fit. I'm going to throw a diva fit. It's not Taiwan, is it?
No. So United Kingdom is the top with 53.5%, which makes sense because we're quite UK centric. The United States has 34.4%.
That
makes sense.
Natural, that's fair.
But also represented are Australia, Italy, Brazil, Canada, Spain, the Isle of Man, and Hong Kong.
Wow. I mean, I'm disappointed in you, Taiwan, but oh my god, mate, you know what I'm going to think? Those people that were listening in Taiwan, they've all moved to these other locations.
Over a third of our listeners are outside of the UK.
That's crazy.
Over a third. That's madness. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our UK-based beer madness.
Here in some of the other countries, it's not what I would have expected either. Not that's not what I would expect. No. I would be like, UK, US, that's natural. Maybe Canada, fine. But to hear some of the other places, I'm like, wow, Brazil. What? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Not what I've expected. Hong Kong would not have expected that, so.
And everyone is most active on a Monday, which makes sense because that's when we post things.
That's fair.
But also, there is strong listening on Tuesday, Wednesday, but there's almost no listening at the weekend.
That's fair. I mean, I wouldn't want to be listening if I were someone else at the weekend.
So there you go.
Save it for your commutes. Save us for your commutes. That's cool. That's wild. That's cool. I like that you track this. We need to find a better, easier way to track this stuff. But I kind of like not knowing it myself because I like when you share the facts because I'm like, wow. And I feel like if I had seen it beforehand, I'd be like,
you've been underwhelmed.
Not underwhelmed, but I just think that my reaction would have been more reserved.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, wow, didn't expect that. Well, I mean, I guess we already started. I'm going to everything laid out, cards on the table. I didn't track even the stuff. I didn't do a lot of the Katie's beer school. I didn't do a woman's brew ones. I barely did my own ones. I'm not gonna lie. When I say the only ones I really did were brewery bingo, alphabet, 20 beers in a day, 20 plus beers in a day challenge, and then tracking states and countries and fruit counts. That's all I did. Everything else, I was like, I just didn't do it. I mean, I didn't do bingo.
I can't tell you what my goals were. because apparently I didn't write them down anywhere, and now I can't remember them. We set up our own drinking challenge. Didn't do it.
Didn't
I
do it
look,
either.
Here is my beer journal that I was like, I'm going to fill in my beer journal more. Here's all the empty spaces that I didn't fill in. Didn't fill any of it in.
I didn't either.
I did do the alphabet right at the beginning of the year, and that's nearly complete.
Did you manage to do all the alphabet?
No. I
mean, not even once. Not even once.
No. I mean, I might have done, but I stopped tracking, so I'm missing Q, X, and Z. So I might have those somewhere, but I didn't look at it. I've only done a couple out of the Drink Harder challenge. I didn't even complete my best beers of 2025 list that I normally do every month. Didn't do anything. I was terrible.
No. I was going to say, you're usually really good at that, especially in the journal.
I'm normally really good at it. So I am going to retire. I've decided I'm retiring this journal because I just don't have the time to fill it out because I'm prioritising other journals instead.
I feel like I need to play like a trumpet or something while you lower it.
We're retiring it. It's going to the back of the shelf. Maybe at some time we'll resume it, but it's going to be retired for the moment. And I'm going to find a digital way of doing it because I just think with my beer stuff, a digital way of doing it is more practical for me because I can just I want it so that I can whack it up on my phone, put it in. I know it's done. Like, it's not something that I'm going to be like, okay, I need to hang on to this stuff and I need to allocate a chunk of time. Like, I just want to find a quick way of doing it. So I'm going to work that. That is my goal for this year, is to work out a quick and easy digital recording system for myself, for my beers. That's my goal.
So when it comes to the tracking stuff, so I'll say the ones that I track, so brewery bingo, I didn't actually get bingo because it's really surprisingly hard. I've visited a bunch of breweries, but to get bingo, that was surprisingly hard. And you know what? I actually thought it was kind of fun because it was so hard. I did B and G, no INO, because I could have gotten an I because I could have gone to Indie Grapple, but I've been so busy and I didn't do it with intention. Yeah. So I'm gonna say the ones that I've got because it kind of comes back to the goals that I set. So I didn't do that with intention. I was just we'll see where we get. It's the same thing with the Untappd. I was we'll see where we get to at the end of the year, as I did last year. And last year, the Untappd styles, I managed to do so many things and go so many the year before. When I say the last year, what I mean is the year prior. Yeah, I managed to tick off so many styles and so many, and I was doing it not even trying. Yeah. And then this year, I wasn't trying, but I feel like I was almost wading through quicksand, where I did a lot, I saw a lot, but it wasn't actually working towards beer goal stuff. Yeah. So even my unintentional, I wasn't unintentionally making progress. But alphabet wise, I did manage to go through it once with the beer names. Mm-hmm. And then the second, so normally for anyone that's just listening, if you're in Hong Kong, this is the first time you're listening to our end of year stuff. I normally do through the alphabet once with beer names. And then if I can do beer names, the second I finish doing that, then I can start tracking breweries. And I try to do beer names on one and then breweries going through the alphabet. And I managed to go through almost all of the alphabet and breweries as well. I just didn't get R, W, or X, but I got everything else. That's really good going. Which is really good going, yeah. And I didn't expect to get Z, Z, whatever you want to call it, but I did because I had a beer from a place that's called Zekoku Cuckoo Microbrewery in Japan just by chance, and I didn't even look at the fact that it started with a Z, depending on where you're listening to. But it just happened. And X, that's not a surprise. R, I thought I would have gotten something for R, but because of the way that I track it, I don't start tracking the breweries until I've finished all the beer names. So I probably could have ticked this list off, but it's because I like to do it in a way that's challenging.
Because you like to do it in hard mode.
But I like to, because I find the challenge fun. Yeah. And that's the thing is until I've done the alphabet and beer names, I'm not counting the next thing. And I don't want to go back because it's from that point onwards. Yeah. So I didn't do too bad with that. The 20 beers in a day challenge, I'm so annoyed because when I was in Prague, I got up to 18 beers a day. And that was the best I've ever done. I've not managed to get the 20 beers. But again, I wasn't doing that intentional. I actually managed to do
that. I did it at London Craft Beer Festival and didn't even realise.
I didn't really go to any beer festivals properly this year. So
that's really the only place you can do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Small pours at a beer festival and there's a lot of choice.
Exactly. And I didn't. And then again, because it wasn't intentional, I didn't even realize I had done this until I got back and I was like, actually, that day might have been all right. But I stopped tracking the states and the countries. I managed to get up to 16, but I stopped tracking at some point for the countries and 5 for states. But again, because I stopped tracking that didn't count. I got 40 fruits.
That's pretty good.
So I think we did Q1 and Q2 before. So for Q3 and Q4, I've got black plum, lemon, orange, black elderberries, grapefruit, watermelon, timur pepper, which is what I was telling you about earlier, hisaku. I counted that even though it's the peel of that fruit, but I thought that's still an interesting fruit.
Counts.
Never heard of that before, counting that. Pomegranate, grapes, and honeydew melon. Not just grape skin, but like the actual grapes. So I was like, I will count that. So I thought, you know what? That's good. 40 fruits is good going.
Yeah,
I'll take
really
it.
Going.
So like for me, the goals that I set for myself, I gave myself kind of like 5 goals just because I could do one, but then I'm like, I want to be intentional with them. So my first one was that I want better organization and simplification. So I want to find a way, for example, to like organize my spread. That's just in general, organization and simplification for my beer stuff. Because I want to find a way to organize my spreadsheet, for example, and the goals better. Because one reason that I didn't tick off more goals, I know I've done more of the goals, but I lost track of them because what I did was on my big fat spreadsheet, at the end of my big fat spreadsheet, I put a section for beer goals and I put it with like a tick box that I could like literally go in and tick the box and put the evidence and everything. But because of where it was in that spreadsheet, it just wasn't easy. Whereas the place I track the fruits and stuff was on a Word doc in Google.
Okay.
It was easier to look at. It was like just visibly more in my face. So I think the spreadsheet required too much of me. So I just need to find, similar to what you said, I think I just need to find an easier, more I was already doing it digitally, but I need to find an easier, more user-friendly way to do it. And I need to streamline it and make it more simple and organized.
I'm wondering about a Google form.
Yeah.
Because then,
you could probably
like, if you set the form up, if you set the form up, then it'll go into a spreadsheet for you. And if you set it up, you can have drop downs. Like, it'll take a little bit of time to like put all the beer styles in. But if you start it off and do like, right, I'm setting it up properly, and then all you've got to do is go in and be like, beer name, brewery, country, ABV, serving type, some notes about it. No, set up what you want, and then just fill it out. And then you could have like a link to it on your phone and just be like, boop, fill out my form, put it onto the spreadsheet. I might try all that.
I might ask people at work about that. I might just borrow them from actual work stuff to be like, hold up, I hear you, but what if?
What if I was to use a Google form?
Like, please talk to me about this. Like, I know you're doing something really important for somebody that's paying for your time. I am not.
However.
But this is way more fun. But yeah, no, I could see how that would then populate like a whole bunch of stuff that could make spreadsheeting and everything else easier. And I might even try with like just asking for ideas from AI to be like, how would you organize this? How would you do this? And just kind of combining to see what works the best, because I just think that the way I'm writing the goals at the moment in that spreadsheet, it's just not hitting me the same way. So I'm not seeing it. It's harder to go through and to be like, yeah, I tick that. And we've got so many that it's like harder to go through. So I think I really love some of the ones that we picked. And I think I ticked some of them off, and other ones I really would love to be doing. But because they're out of sight, out of mind, I don't think about them. It's not there. So another one of my goals is that I want to drink more intentionally. And that kind of feeds into that. Is like, sometimes it might mean drinking less, like, which is fine. It's not about the volume. It's not about the ABV. But I think for me, I want to be intentionally finding more unique beers to drink, intentionally utilizing the beers that I've got to do more interesting things with them. Stuff that I plan to do, but then I just sort of let it sit there, and then it gets so far along that I go, oh, well, now it's now I've let it sit too long. Now I have to just drink it to get it out of the way instead of doing the interesting thing, and just like making the time for it and just being very intentional with it. And I think, finding more ways to like be more intentional about the breweries that I'm buying from and the locations that I'm visiting and like what I'm doing with those beers, and intentionally matching beers to like, cool, I'm watching this movie tonight, I'm going to drink this beer because I want to clear out my stash. And in order to do that, okay, great, I need to find times when I wouldn't normally, not that I'm drinking what I wouldn't normally, but like I'm like, oh, that's a good excuse in my head to go, okay, I'm going to have this now and tick that off a list instead of saving it. Because I feel like I always go, I'm saving it. Like my Westies, I was like, I'm saving the set that I've got. And then tonight I was like, what am I saving it for? What am I saving a blonde ale for? Like, I love blonde ales. Why am I not drinking it? Just because of what the brewery is? Like, no, I'm drinking it. So it's just about being more intentional. And then I did have a goal that I wanted to post more on socials. Because I feel like, as I said earlier, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like a lot of the stuff I've done is just reshares of the stuff for the podcast, and like that's kind of like it.
I feel like I have to I feel like I want to over-engineer it. Like I'm always like, oh, it's got to be a perfect post and it's got to be at the right time. It's got to be this. And actually, if you like, people kind of just want to see you. So actually, it can just be, you know, a quick snap of whatever you're doing, or a little video of where you are, or something. Like, it doesn't have to be like this beautifully done thing. Like, messy action is good too.
That's why I do so much in stories, is because like I'm out and about and this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm watching, and this is what I've got. But I think what I want to try to do is, like, with the stuff I'm taking photos of or doing, like, I want to be posting them more as posts versus like stories, because I think in the post people can interact with it more, even if they're not there in the first 24 hours. And some of the stuff I post, I'm like, I'm interested to hear other people's thoughts, but it disappears in 24 hours. Yeah. So, you know, I just got a brand new, to me, camera when I was in Japan, and it takes, you know, it's a learning curve and it takes some really amazing photos. And like, I want to be able to be like, I went out and about and I did this and I want to post this photo, even though it's nothing to do with beer. I can try to tie it back to beer, but like, really, I'm just like, I'm really proud of this photo I took and I just want to share the photo. And, you know, just posting to be like, I did this thing, or, you know, I got this travel beer thing. Like, what stuff do you take with you when you travel? Like that kind of stuff. Because I really just like the interaction and conversation. But I don't have those when all I'm doing is just resharing your, you know, the post that you make for the podcast, and I'm like, great, share across. So that's one of them. And then my last two, it's really just like, I want to drink more things that aren't beer. So I got a wine subscription because I wanted the stuff that came with the wine subscription. And this is a while ago. This is my cooler, and I've got a second cooler because I had so many things. So if you want a cooler with a cheese board top, I got a whole new set, and that's for me, and you can have my old one.
Maybe I do.
It's super duper handy.
Yeah, it sounds great.
I got new tumblers that go with it and everything, but that's by the by. And I just have so many bottles of wine, and like, it's not even just wine, it's like wine and cocktails and stuff like that. Sometimes I go, these would be fun to drink, but I almost feel guilty because I'm like, when I think, oh, that's a fun thing to drink, I then go, but I've got so much beer I've got to drink. And when you open a bottle of wine, you kind of have to carry on drinking that. But like, it's really, you can leave certain wines for a while, but you can't leave all wines indefinite. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's only certain things that you can leave. Like, I can't just open a bottle of Prosecco and then be like, and leave it. So I've got all these different types and styles of wines, and they all have tasting cards. And I'm like, I'd really like to be able to drink those sometimes, or some cocktails, like play around more with cocktails and mixology. I've literally got that stuff.
Like 4 bottles sat next to me. So I started a book subscription. I've cancelled it now because like I have so many books. Like, I was just like,
so many books.
This is not helping my TBR. But it was, you got the book and you got a cocktail to pair with it, so you could drink. But they came in these ready.
Oh, I like that.
Things. Some of them are sparkly. Like, I think I put a spiced rum espresso martini one in the fridge for Halloween. Did I drink it? No. But I've got like 5 of these. Look, I've got a blue one.
Oh, that looks really cool.
What's this one?
It's like an elixir.
This is
I would only describe as an elixir.
I feel like this is like a blue Hawaiian type one.
Oh,
and like, so nice. I've got all of these, right? Like, I've got like 5 of these, and like, I haven't drunk those yet, and I keep being like, oh, when's the right time to drink them?
No,
just do it.
You drink those. No, drink those and then find a beer that is similar.
Oh,
like, if you can find a beer that's similar, then that's how you can get rid of a beer and that cocktail. You have the cocktail first, then you go, now can I find a beer that replicates this taste and it matches the book?
Look, like, this one's got like purple wax on the top.
It's so cool. That is really
so
cool.
good. So they're from a place called prohibitioncollection.co.uk if people are interested. But they came with books, but I haven't drunk them, so they need drinking.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's why I put it on my list. As I'm like, I've got so many other, like, as you know already, like I've got bars full of like a
Yeah.
stocked bar, and we don't really have people over. But I'm like, I want to be doing more. I love a good theme, so I want to be doing more like themed nights where it's like I'm drinking, or like dinner and drink pairing, and sometimes that's not always beer, and like sometimes
Yeah.
that's wine, sometimes that's spirits. Like I want to learn more about sake. Like I've got,
Yeah.
I bought, you know, because obviously Rick and I are big into like Japan, like for one of our anniversaries, like I bought a sake bottle to go with some stuff. And I'm like, well, I really want to kind of like make time to open that sake bottle and taste that and try that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I kind of put, even though it's a beer drinking, like beer goals, is like, well, actually, don't just drink beer, drink other things, make time to drink other things as well. And that's what I really struggle with the most, because I feel this guilt. I don't know if other people listening feel this, but like I feel a guilt as a person that's in craft beer as a hobby, that like anytime I'm drinking at home, that's something that's not beer, obviously besides like soft, like non-alcoholic drinks, like I feel guilty. Like, well, I have a beer that's waiting for me. Why am I not drinking that? And then the other drinks just sit there. And I'm like, I know wine can age, you know, so it does. But sometimes I'm like, oh, I'd really like to know what that tasted like. From this wine subscription, I got so many of these really interesting red wines, sparkling wines, and rosés. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm never going to know what they taste at this point because I never open them. Yeah. So I think that's one of my goals. And the other goal that has to do with drinking more is I want to do less takeaways. I said this last year and I was rubbish at it. Less takeaways and drinking more through my collection, especially the sharing bottles and the stouts, because those are the ones that stick around the longest. Because I tend, because I know Rick likes the stouts the most, I tend to hold off drinking those because I want to wait until he wants to drink them as well. But then we don't have a lot of opportunities where we're both like, yeah, we're in the mood to have a beer, let's have a beer. So I end up leaving the stouts a lot of the time because of that. Yeah. So they just sit there. And so I think my goal for this year is like, I want to make a dent on those. I want to drink more of the sharing bottles. I want to just get through what I've got. And considering like when I go out to places, like, do I need to take this home? Am I taking this home because I actually really want, like, can I not have this? Is this something that's so unique that if I don't take it home, like that's it? Or am I just taking it home because it sounds really good in the moment and then it's just going to sit with a bunch of other stuff, and by the time I drink it, it's just not going to be in its prime anymore? So
I do believe that one of my goals was to manage my stash better, and actually I think I have done. I think I've just bought less. So I've not topped
I'm dreading
up as much.
You giving me all the beers you got for me, because I
do have like a box full of beer for you because we just haven't seen each other.
Like, it's bad. I'm really scared, to be honest. It's a big chunk. I know I managed to like. In there. I know, but I managed to not do like awful with. I kind of maintained. Like I didn't really go much. I didn't really drop down. I just maintained. And now what you're about to give me, I'm like, no. I think the other ones that I will track that I think are easy to track goals, not goals, but like what I like tracking stats wise. I'll probably keep doing the fruits. I'll keep doing the alphabet. I'll probably try to keep doing the locations. I just need to find an easier way to do it. And then I want to go through, because I really like some of the challenges that we did. Like I really liked the whiskey drink, vodka drink, lager drink, cider drink. I just need to go through and find a way to make it easier. And like even the Katie's Beer Club, like they did like she's done the themes and like the themed months and stuff. And I think like it would be really cool to set stuff up like that. I just need to find an easier, more user-friendly, streamlined, simplified, organised way to do it. And then I can do it.
I didn't do whiskey, cider, beer, vodka this year because I didn't spend as much time with Tom.
I think I did
the one that makes me do it.
I think I did it, to be fair. Like that's the one that I'm always like, get that out of the way as soon as possible. But I kind of want to do like twist on it where it's like, well, it could be those ones, but as beers, like, you know, how many different ways can you do that combination in one night? And like, I just think I like it. It's fun. It's quirky. It's interesting. Like it's something that you just don't. It's a nice challenge that you have to be intentional about
Yeah.
to do it. And so I like those ones where it's like intentional challenges that are cool. Where can I find that I can do this? So I think I want to do more of the ones that we set out last year, but then didn't do because I didn't have visibility of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my goal, is to kind of simplify it all and put it in a place that's more visible and then just do it.
I love that for you. Well, if you have an episode suggestion for us, Tori, where can people suggest those to you?
Yeah, you can suggest episodes to me, or if you want to suggest any more goals for 2026 that I can like add as it has to be simple. It's got to be something like alphabet your beers, or do another bingo, or like brewery bingo, or something like that. If you want to suggest something like that, or episodes, or you have a suggestion for how I can streamline and simplify, you can find me on Instagram at adventures_in_hoptimism. You can email me at adventuresinhoptimism@gmail.com, or you can go on my website, which definitely has not been updated, but I've paid for a new domain, even though I've not updated, which is adventuresinhoptimism.com. That domain paid for itself, basically. It didn't. I paid for it. If you want to find Joe and me, you can suggest those episode ideas. Like, let us know which ones you did really like, and which ones, where you want us to go, what you want us to do. We haven't planned out the year properly yet.
No,
it's nothing set in stone. We're only 9 days in. It feels like a millennia. But you can let us know at A Woman's Brew on Instagram and Facebook. You can find us, you can send us an email. If you see something you want us to talk about, if you find an article, you see a place you want us to go, you can email us at awomansbrewpodcast@gmail.com. Or I have now renewed the domain for A Woman's Brew pod.beer. That is A Woman's Brew pod.beer. Joe, if people want to know, you're putting your journal to rest and they're like, what are you doing with your digital journal, girl? Or they want to talk to you about, they want to recommend Beer Smart to you. Where can they talk to you?
I'd love that.
Don't plug your book.
Or if you want to if you want to commiserate with me because you also didn't meet like any of your beer goals because you just couldn't remember what they were, you can find me on Instagram. I am Love Beer Learning. I'm also on Facebook, but you'll definitely get hold of me on Instagram. You can also come to my website, which is lovebeerlearning.co.uk. I am hoping to post more there this year, fingers crossed. And you can also email me at lovebeerlearning@gmail.com. Right, well, cheers and Happy New Year, everybody.
Cheers.